Right now, homes between $600,000 and $1 million are selling faster than homes under $300,000. And if you're buying, selling, or even just watching the Fort Bend market right now, that should absolutely get your attention. Because most people assume the cheaper homes are always the fastest selling, but that's not what those numbers are showing us right now. I just analyzed hundreds of home sales from January all the way through April and across Richmond, Katy, Fulshear, Rosenberg, Missouri City, you name it, Sugar Land. We took a look at everything, and what I found is the market is not slowing down, but it's becoming more strategic. 1 month tells you what happened, but when you start looking at the trends, that's going to tell you what you can expect. And if you want to break down for your home or for your neighborhood, send me a message. We're going to help you, and we're going to get that information out to you right away. Now let's start with the busiest part of the market right now, the $300,000 to $600,000 price range. In April alone, there were roughly 620 homes sold in that segment. That made it the largest and busiest segment by far in the market. The average sales price was around $415,000 with the median price at $400,000. But here's what really stood out. Homes in this range, they were on the market for an average of 58 days on the market. That's longer than many people would have expected in a market this active. And the simple reason is this: inventory is building. Buyers have more choices, and when the buyers have the choices, they're being more selective and they're taking their time to make sure they make the right decision. So if you're selling in that range now, you're not just competing anymore, you're fighting for attention, and price matters. Your marketing matters, and how it's presented to the buyer matters. And if you're overpriced even just a little bit, you're gonna see the buyers are skipping your property and taking a look at the others. And that's why even though the $300,000 to $600,000 range is the busiest, it's not the fastest moving part of the market anymore. So stay with me for a minute, because I'm about to show you exactly where homes are moving the fastest right now. And honestly, it surprises a lot of people. The fastest moving segment in the market right now is the $600,000 to $1 million range. In April alone, about 164 homes sold in that category. The median days on the market dropped to around 14 days, and the average sales price was around $742,000. So think about that, 2 weeks. That means many of these homes that were going under contract they're almost going under immediately. And why is this happening? Because these buyers are decisive. A lot of them are move-up buyers. They already own homes, they have equity, and they're financially stronger. And when they find the right property, they move quickly. These buyers are not casually shopping anymore. They know what they're looking for, they're intentional about it, they know what they want, and when they find it, they move on it. Now, if your current home is under that $300,000 to $500,000 range and you've been thinking about upgrading, this could actually be one of the best windows we've seen in a while. Now let's talk about the under $300,000 market. This segment still had around 188 sales in April. The average price was around $249,000, but that average days on market climbed to around 48 days, and that tells us something important. The buyers are being more cautious. You're more payment sensitive. They're more focused on affordability. So while there's still demand, buyers are taking longer to commit. They're comparing more homes. They're negotiating harder. Every dollar counts. And they're watching those interest rates more closely. And honestly, this is where pricing mistakes hurt the most, because if a home is overpriced in this range, even just a little bit, buyers, they notice that, and they're going to go walk to your neighbor's house. Now let's talk about the cities, because this is really where things get interesting. Now, Richmond has absolutely dominated the market from January through April, and that's across every single price point, especially the $300,000 to $600,000 range. Richmond led the market with roughly 160 sales in April alone. Now that's huge. Then you had Katy and Fulshear right behind it, Rosenberg behind those, and Missouri City behind that. And one thing I keep seeing over and over again, Rosenberg continues to be probably the strongest market as far as value is concerned. You still get more house for your money. More space, more affordability, and buyers are paying attention to that right now. Now here's where things get even more interesting, because I didn't just look at April, I looked at what happened from January all the way through April, and the trends, they're very clear. January started off slower, that's normal. You're coming out of the holidays, a post-holiday hesitation, interest rates are a concern, just a lot of uncertainty into the market. Then we saw February start picking up a little bit. March gained with some momentum, and by April the activity became strong, but it wasn't strong evenly across the board. We saw different segments, and that's the key. What we started seeing, those homes over the last 4 months, was a 300 to 600,000 segment becoming more crowded. What does that mean? Inventory. More listings, more competition, longer days on market. Meanwhile, the $600,000 to $1 million segment became stronger over that same time, which is the exact opposite of what most people expected. And that tells us something really important. Buyer confidence since January has improved. Buyers are also becoming much more strategic. They're prioritizing the location, the lifestyle, the long-term value, and affordability. And when they find the right home, they're acting quickly. The luxury market is also still moving. In April alone, there were over 33 sales of $1 million or more. The average luxury price was around $1.5 million. So what does that all mean? The market didn't crash. It's not going to crash. It didn't freeze. It shifted. And if you're thinking about where buying or selling anywhere in Fort Bend County, don't rely on outdated information from 6 months ago. Look at the actual numbers, because the data is telling a very different story than what most people think. And again, homes between $600,000 and $1 million are selling faster than under $300K. And if you don't understand why that's happening, you could be making a huge, huge mistake in this market. Give us a call. Let us know how we can help you so you can understand exactly what the market is telling you if you're looking to buy, sell, or just curious about what's happening in Fort Bend County. And if you like this information, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe. Love to see you back. Y'all take care.